No. Okay?
Pow, pow,
Pow,
pow,
pow,
pow,
pow, pow! Welcome to today's Sunday Pow stream. Bra, Lilian. If you are watching this in replay, I might or I might not have added some timestamps in the description below so that you can jump around. And if you're new around here, my name is Benedicta. I am the senior developer and mom of Lily Labs, our family web shop. In addition to me, it's Lillian that you just saw, who is our intern. And then up in the attic, as usual, and Lillian is going there as well, is Ula, our junior developer, and Dad. So that's us. We're located in Oslo. I'm wondering where you're tuning in from, and I love a lively chat. So you can just like chat away, ask questions, give me suggestions. I'm very open for feedback during the live stream. So I can see Snooty is here. We are waving. I can't say that in English. Yeah, it is a good Sunday morning. I don't know how it is. Sorry, there's something on my glasses. So I don't know how it is where you're at, but in Oslo, we are having the coldest January in 10 years. So we are pretty cold here in a little wooden house from 1880.
Lydboka er ferdig, kan du hjelpe meg?
Gå opp til pappa, så hjelper pappa deg. It looks like she's going on like an overnight trip. She's just going upstairs in the attic where Ula has created his own little office. So that's what's up. Okay. Well, these glasses are not getting any better, are they? Well, at least they're like evenly fogged up. So that's better than I felt like I had something like in front of my eye, which was pretty annoying. Anywho, so this week, yeah, I guess it is still this week because today is Sunday. This week, I finally ended up pushing some changes to POW that is visible for our users. So it got added to the change log. So that was pretty exciting because if you've been hanging out with me on these streams in January, there has been a lot of like maintenance, operational work, trying to get like ConvertKit and user base to sync up using the new user base, payment features, all that kind of like boring, but I'm finding it more and more fun to code, but it's like less, you can't show it off. It's not that you can't send an email update to users and be like, whoa, the backend works better now because most of them are not that interested in that. So the feature that got shipped yesterday was export. So now in POW, you can export your data, which is pretty cool. We don't want to lock people in. So next step is importing. So I added a little like section that says import where nothing happens, but trying to like get feedback on where people want to import from so that we can start like making something. Making something for people there with import. So that's cool. And the coolest thing about the export feature is that Ula, our junior dev, did most of the work. I just did the cleanup and then the file download because he hadn't figured out how to do that. And I didn't really either, but I found a great comment and that showed me how to do it. So I just copy pasted that and it worked. So at least on my device, we'll see if people give us any bug reports. So that's kind of a little bit what's happening with POW. Tomorrow, it's Monday, and it's Monday the 8th. So it's a POW monthly status update. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock, GMT +1 at night, so 2000 or 2000s. How do they say it in America? Anywho, there will be a POW status update. It's going to be probably just like 10-15 minutes, no more than that. Not much has happened, and it's both for December and January. And then on March 8th, we're going to do the yearly update because on International Women's Day, March 8th, POW has been live in its current form for a year. So that's pretty exciting. Going to do like a year summary, maybe have a little bit. I don't know. I want to do something fun. If you have any suggestions, let me know. It will be a stream, but we'll see if maybe I can have some guests. Maybe we can, if you have any questions, you can at me on Twitter at Ray, so RAAE, so that I know what kind of answers people want. And I'm rambling here. Let's get over to the coding, but this was actually my intro about if you're new here. So if you're new around here, check the description and you can sign up for my weekly newsletter where I talk about the behind the scenes of our little web shop, thoughts on privacy and status on POW and new projects that always keep popping up. So if you want to be on the inside, check that out. But over to today's Sunday stream. I'm going to add my screen onto, here we are. I don't know if this is big enough. I'm going to do a little bit of zoom in. Like that. So in today's video, or not video, stream, I guess, it ends up being a video. So in today's video, we will be looking at how can we visualize the menstrual cycle, and we'll explore it from kind of the POW side. So in POW, we know when people, when they menstruate, and then we also have tags for things that they are interested in keeping an eye on. And I had a user test out POW and then cancel, and I asked her why, and she gave me this amazing feedback with charts and everything, and I really liked how she done it. So we were just going to try and create what she has drawn for us here that you can see on the screen. It's pretty amazing, when you're building in the open and these things happen, like people will help out. They want you to succeed, and it's really fun. So she's made these kind of little like bar charts. As you can see, I don't know if you can see my mouse there. So here we are here. She's made these little bar charts, and then that would be the length of the menstrual cycle. And then these are the tags that are then showing up. There could be like a lot of tags. So I'm thinking for like the end result, people will be choosing which tags they want to see visualized, not seeing all of them at once. But we'll explore today using code Sandbox. So we're not going into the code base. We're just going to do this as an exploration outside of the code base. So so we have the cycles here, the length, and then she put up a little like median, 26 days, as a menstrual cycle can fluctuate. And then she had some interesting comments and that I've been thinking about as well, is that, okay, well, this maybe should line up with this date, or like this is the last day of this period or menstrual cycle, and then this is the last day of this menstrual cycle. So they should maybe be lined up in some way, like we need to normalize the length. But then she had an interesting comment that I didn't really know, so I need to keep reading up on the menstrual cycle, is that often it's better to like right align. So if this is the start of the first start of the menstrual cycle, then it's better to maybe right align, because that period after ovulation is more equal than before ovulation. We might not know, or POW doesn't really know when you ovulate, but if we then right align, maybe our users can like see that pattern for themselves. So in the end, I'm thinking we should be able to left align, right align, but then also normalize, just like drag them out so they're the same length. So that is today's plan, to start kind of exploring this and see if we're able to make something similar to what she has made. And then we also have more, this is like more of a normal or common, I wouldn't say normal, but common way to visualize the cycle, like in a circle. So I don't know if it's because I'm an engineer or just my personality type. I really like it. Like I'm a linear thinker, which is funny because the menstrual cycle kind of, I mean, it's a cycle, it's a circle, but so it's kind of normal to, or common, as I said, to have more of a circle kind of visualization for menstrual cycles in different apps. But then we need to kind of aggregate, as she's saying, because it's hard to show like circle outside of circle outside of circle. With these bars, we can stack them on top of each other and people can compare them themselves. But in a circle, we would have to more kind of aggregate this data and show it in some way. So we'll see. So Snooty is also has a little intern these days, a little smaller than our intern, but he'll be up to speed very fast. So speaking about interns, procrastinated a little bit on Friday. So instead of coding on POW, I started looking at my webpage, Ray codes that I want to kind of revitalize this year, but not until April because that's when my client work is up. So I asked Lillian to draw me so I could use that in my page because that was very successful for our December project, Bottled Happiness. So here we go. This is me with a crown with little like diamonds on top. So I really liked that one. But then she also drew me as a big heart. So I like that one as well. Ooh, sorry. So for Ray codes, I'm going to go for very like whimsical, fun, old school web. But need to keep that focus. Focus, pow. Focus, pow. So, anywho. Yeah. So, I did, after she sent me the suggestions, and also I just kind of like, let's do a search for, I'm going to have to add that again. So let's just do search for menstrual cycle. Visual diagram. So as you can see, there's a lot of these like circle things. It's also interesting. So I'm thinking after, like maybe a POW can become, have more kind of like learning resources in the future. In the beginning, I'm kind of trying to get customers who are pretty familiar with menstrual, like they're not new to to menstrual cycles, like older ladies like me who are like done with kids. Older, I'm not that old, but anyway, our focus is people who are done having kids, because trying to make like a fertility app is like a different beast altogether. But I would still like, because I can see that I've talked to a lot of customers in like interviews, and even though they are like 40 plus, they learned a lot about the menstrual cycle in school, but then they haven't really updated their knowledge, and a lot has happened around the knowledge about cycles. So I have been thinking we should have more kind of educational material kind of baked in POW after a while, or in the future. So these are interesting to look at anyhow. Like this one, it's like, this is the lining of the uteral wall. Yeah. So that could be interesting to kind of like have there together with our visualization on top. So many interesting things we could do. But I did a little bit of a research before and noted, so that would be in November. So this is very clever of me, and I can recommend that. She sent me these sketches. I put them straight into GitHub issues. I asked her first if I could do it, and then she made it. Actually, she made it. I made like this comment here to like remember, and then I asked her if I was allowed to add her sketches, and then she just went in and added her sketches herself, obviously a developer. And then I made another comment down here. So I really recommend that if you're working on something over the long term, just like add to your make a GitHub issue and then just add on, because then like now it's months ago, but I can see like what were my thoughts in November. Yes, I checked out the Nevo framework that I've already opened over here, and looking through it, I found something called a bullet component. So this is the bullet component. And as you can see, this is pretty, at least I feel like it's very similar to what we're trying to make here. It's a line, there's little tags. Maybe we can open it into, yeah. Oh, this was the wrong one. This one. So we can see they're pretty similar. I'm going to bump this up even more. Oh, so GitHub doesn't want to like zoom in on the photo, just the text or the image, but you see it good enough. So this is pretty similar. You have a graph or bar. Then there are little circles here. Over here, I can see something similar. It's a bar. There are little lines, but I'm guessing I can customize those. And then also something that she hasn't put into kind of this in her drawing or in her sketches. And I think maybe it's going to be too much in this sketch, but more along the line of what we're seeing here with like diagrams. We can do like menstrual cycle phases. Yeah, we could imagine doing something. Where is this image? Something along the line where we are saying on the same kind of bar, we're saying period, and then that. Oh, this is another wording than the one I've had. But you have the follicular phase, and then you have the ovulation phase, and then you have the luteal phase or whatever. We could like maybe with background color kind of give some indication on where we're thinking you are. This is not an exact science, but we could, based on some averages, we could show that in addition. So interesting here that you can add like background colors for different ranges. So this could 1, 2, 3, 4. There's like 4 phases, I think, in the menstrual cycle. So we could do like 4 different background colors like that. So I think that's enough of me talking. I think this is the shortest talking we've done, though. It's 17 past, 18 past, because I did all the sharing before going on stream. So if you're watching right now, you could go to Twitter and then retweet my latest tweet to get the word out about this stream. That would be nice. So we're going to start now with the coding. So what we're then want to try to do, so this is pretty, like their documentation is pretty good. There's like a code tab, and then there's a data tab, and then there's the chart tab. So we're going to try and do something similar in Code Sandbox. So I'm going to put this back into here, and then full screen. So if you're not familiar with Code Sandbox, it's a really good tool, I think, to get started, because you don't have to set up anything. It sets up all the environment for you and takes out all that kind of like boring stuff. And also now that we're doing some exploration, I don't want to be doing this in the POW kind of code base, because it's going to take a while before I know exactly how I want it in the code base. I'm hoping to spend all of February exploring visualization and hopefully get something live before the 1-year anniversary, so that we can like have, you know, something kind of new to launch. So I'll start with new sandbox, and I want to do a React sandbox. Yeah, so that's something to think about. This is Nevo is built on top of D3, which I do use for clients. I'm kind of familiar with it, but it's hard to get it to look good. So I would rather like start with something. So Nevo has these components you can start with, and it's a React.js library. So Nevo is only, I guess you can only use it, or not, I guess I know you can only use it with the React project. So that's kind of like our base assumptions here. So I'm going to make a sandbox. So here we are. We now have a sandbox, and it's in React. So it's got the React DOM imported. It's added some strict mode, but this is our app. So let's start with just like copy pasting in the example that Nevo gives us, and then we can start seeing how we can, I don't know, mold it into something more menstrual cycle-like. One thing I have noticed is you can have different ranges here, and they kind of line up. So that will be interesting for me to see if we can. So that will give us that kind of normalized cycle length, even though the cycle length is different. But can we shift it to the right? Can we shift it to the left? That will be interesting to see if we can find some solutions for that. Coffee and water, I think, before going further. So what I really like about streaming is that I can't like give up. So I have had a little bit of a look. I've had a little bit of a look at this framework, and then I was like, I'll do something else. But that's a good thing about stream, because we kind of just have to like I have to persist through it because you all are watching. So, okay, we are here. We have an app. So let's make a new, well, let's just make it in here. Okay. We have the code over here. Can I zoom in here? Oh, is this all the code? So first we need to add Nevo, I guess. So let's do a FAQ. How are we importing them all separately, or are we importing them as one? Where's my quick guide? Yes, we need to do add Nevo core and then do some of the scope Nevo packages. Okay, so we'll do this one, Nevo core. And I think in code Sandbox, we just add them in here. At Nevo core, we have to have that as a start. And then we're copy pasting this. So that's at Nevo bullet. So I'm guessing then we need to, there should be a bullet. Yes. Okay, and then we'll try to copy this. Nevo people, I would love a copy. I would love a copy. Let's see, what first? Yeah. Oh, excuse me. So the only problem I have with kind of code Sandbox is that it's in the browser. So I can't just tab between them, but that's a small price to pay. Then we need to. No, let's just call it app here, but then we need to export it, I guess. Export default. Element type is valid, expected string, cool. Nevo bullet, my responsive bullet, export default, my responsive bullet. If we do it like this, does it work then? This is me like, oh, it's gonna be so simple. We're just gonna. Yep, so it is kind of working, but I am guessing we are having some trouble with our data. So let's make a data file. And then I'm gonna copy in, copy in all this data. Where's my file? Create file. Data.js. Export default. And then we'll need to import it. Yeah, so they added it. Oh, there's a data tab. Oh, they added in like this. We're not going to do that. We're just going to be a little nonchalant about it. Import data from. See what we got. Think we're going to get a graph? Are we going to get the graph? So if this doesn't work, we'll actually have to read the documentation. I'm thinking maybe this would be just one. Like maybe we should just give it one of these. Yeah, because one object in this array is probably one of these bars, and now I'm trying to give one bar all of the data. So if we try to just give it one of the data. Oh, we have a console, it's saying something. App is unexpected token. 14. Why is it uninspected? Okay, let's try with just giving it the data then. Yeah, data is defined but never used. That is true. I'm not seeing anything. Responsibility. We are importing it. We are giving it data. Okay, so the chart data should be an array. Okay, so it should be an array. Okay, so it is actually gonna give us all the bar charts. So let's make this an array then. Why are you not showing me anything? Now we have an array of data. I've taken this. So if instead of having const data, and add the data into the data. Still not showing us anything. Okay, let's make this. Make this into a proper. I don't really like it when we use short form. So I'm gonna try again. We're gonna return this responsive bullet. And we're also gonna return something more so we can see if we're actually getting anything here. Yeah, we do have hello, and then we have a responsive bullet. We're trying to give it some data. We're giving it some margin, spacing, title, align, and it's not showing up. So maybe then we should look at the actual documentation. So it needs a width and it needs a height. We are not giving it a width and a height. So let's try that then. 200 pixels and then a height, 200 pixels. Nope. Just gonna close this down and close this down. Okay, let's have a better look at this information then. With number required, but there's no width in this. Height, layout. There's lots of styling. There's axis. Interactivity, there's motion. Wow, this is looking super fancy, but I just wanted to show up. Oh, these are good docs. I'm just wondering how to get started. Oh, so make sure the parent container has a defined height when using responsive component. Otherwise, height will be 0 and no charge will be rendered. Website example showcase many properties. You'll often use just a few of them. Have a defined height. So the parent container needs to have a defined height. Okay, let's try that then. Oh. And height, 200 pixels. Width. Am I spelling this correctly? This is like my nemesis. Height is my and width is my nemesis. No. Well, more coffee for me. So we have copied from this example. Parent container have a defined height. It does now. Is there any reference about how to get started? Where is our getting started documentation? Exhaustive documentation, let's see. Yeah, this is the exhaustive documentation. Yeah. Okay. About references. Oh, why is it making sounds? Okay. Components, yes. Guides. Storybook. So we're doing a bullet. Default. React stories of generate bullet data, bullet from source. Oh, they're setting it's just a height on the bullet. Let's see if we can set a height on the nothing. Oh, because we have a responsive bullet. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe we should do the regular bullet. Maybe I should read. What are we thinking? things are happening. Oh, look at that. Look at that. So let's go with the non-responsive for now. I obviously want responsive since I'm doing both like mobile and desktop, but I'm not going to get into that because I know with D3 that could be quite a challenge. So let's just give it something now. Let's give it like 600 and then let's give it a width so we can actually see it. But I mean, that is not a proper width. Oh, there we go. Why are these on top of each other? Can I close this? Okay. Why are these on top of each other, these numbers here? There we go. That looks better. Now we can start having some fun. Let's make it even wider. How much space do I have here? Oh, look at that. It just smooth went back and forth. I mean, that might not look much to you, but I've tried to do these things in like D3 by hand, and it's a pain. Ooh. Let's do 300 then. Oh, and then they just like magically wow, this is pretty awesome. This is pretty awesome, guys. Wow, look at this. And then I do 1,000 and it's just like woof. Wow. I am impressed. I am impressed. This library, I'm liking it. Okay, so let's try to fix this data then and make it more more like our cycle. So let's say the first one is we can skip the ranges. Let's see what happens. Oh, I was trying to do some code commenting, which didn't work in that didn't work. That didn't work in Code Sandbox. So let's skip these ranges for now. If I do it like this, do you think it will be one range? Because now it doesn't give me any color. So I think we need a start and end. So this range will then go from 0 to 100. But that is not a typical menstrual cycle. So let's just go back to our example and do exactly as she has done here to like give us a clear direction. So this one is 30. So then let's do 30. And then it's got a marker at 71. So then it looks like it just like adds on for us. Pretty smart. But we have something here on like 29. So a measure. Yeah, so I guess the measure is this little tiny thing here. I don't even think we want one of those. So that's gone. Can I just remove it altogether? Or does that? No, I have to have it. So I need to give it a value, but I can give it an empty array. That's nice to know. This is probably all in the docs, by the way, but I like to like fiddle around with it myself. What was I saying? Rocket. Woo! Oh, sorry. That has probably distracted some people from the stream. Okay. Is it better sound now, Ola? Let me know. I need to write that down, not have the phone over there. So, and our marker should then be on 29, I guess. Yep. So that's cool. And then she had another marker. The interesting thing now will be if I can do these markers in different colors. So let's do one on, well, let's do it on, let's say it was 30. And then there was one over here, which is like 25. And then we have one over at maybe then 24. Yeah, so that looks now it looks a little bit like our bar chart here. So I see there's some new people joining. We are trying to visualize the data that POW gets about a user's menstrual cycle. And X user has sent in this sketch for us for how she would have liked it to be done. And I really like it. So we're trying to recreate that with Nevo, which is a D3 component library for React component library. So we've managed to kind of make this first bar. So let's say 1010 to 911. So that would be our ID. 1010 to 911. Markers, okay. And then we'll do the next one. So I'm just copying our data here to have some direction. 11.9. 11.9 to 9.10, I guess. 9.10. Let's do a 0.9 to make it just look a little bit nicer. And this one is how many days? It's not 30. It's, excuse me for jumping back and forth, 28. So let's do 0 to 28. And no measure. Measure was the little line that's now gone. And then we want some markers on, let's say this is like 22 maybe. 22 and then maybe 10. And they are showing up as with different colors. Seems like they're showing up depending on where on the line they are. So we'll have to see if we can customize this in any way. Let's do another month and then let's have a look at the design aspect. So the next one is 1208 to 1009, 1208. Right, to then 1009. And we have a range of 0 to 29 on this one. And we have no measure, but we have a marker on like 28. And then maybe 12. Those were the markers, not the measures. So 12. So what happens if I do measures twice? Oh, so it gives me like one measure and then another measure. Oh, nice. I mean, this is a well thought out framework. I like that. Oh. Where are my... Now I'm like messing up with my keyboard again. I'm going to say this over and over and over again that for my client, I need to use a Windows keyboard on a Linux machine, and it keeps messing me up on the weekends and other days when I'm doing this type of work. So there we go. Measures are gone. I think she had a plan with these like purple ones. So let's try and do this on. So this is 28, and then this is maybe 23. And then we have our last one, which is 1707. So the interesting thing here will be to actually get my data massaged into this data structure without spending too much effort from on the phone's part. We have a range here of 0 to 25. 0 to 25. We have no measure. Look how nicely they just like smooth back and forth. when things change. And then we have a marker on, like, say that's 12 maybe. Oh, no measures. I mean a marker. Then maybe one at 2 or something. And we'll remove the last one. That's kind of interesting. So if we give it on 30, it's actually going to be on the edge. So maybe we need to make it look better. Maybe we can do like a 30.5. Does that work? Yeah, well, maybe 30.1. Well, check that out. Okay. We have 28, 29, and then we have 20. We have a menstrual cycle that is 30 days, 28 days, 29 days, and then 25 days. So these are all stretched out and kind of normalized. And it looks like our tags are getting their color from where in the range they are at. So they're lighter to the left and then darker to the right. But we would need these markers to be colored based on what tag they are. So we have to look into that. It's going to close this down. We have to look into how we can do that. We also need to look into like changing these colors. This is not my color scheme. So let's start with trying to figure out if we can like left align or right align this in a way like this. So instead of the days being normalized, the ranges being kind of 100%, let's see if we can get it to be like this. So then we will actually need to read the documentation, I guess. So we can reverse them. There are some spacing, marker size. Define the size of the marker related to item size, expressed as a ratio. Okay, cool. Define, so there's a theme here. There's a dedicated guide on themes. There are range colors. So we can choose different color ranges. Oh, so there's like ready-made color ranges. That's pretty nice. Okay. Measure component and then measure colors. So we can use different, looks like we can use different color ranges for different parts of the, for different parts for different components of the component, I guess. Okay. And then there are marker colors. We can do the titling, position. There's motion. But there does not seem to be a way that I can find to make them not stretch. So let's have a look at this theme documentation. Various styles to be applied to charts. Yeah, this is more just a color. Okay, let's go back to charts. So if we do horizontal instead. Yes, so then it just jumps. We can reverse it. Okay, so the marker size is that type, so it's not the width. Let's just do different color, range color. So the optional, the default is cool. Let's do Nevo. It's pretty close to my colors. So range colors. Try Nevo. Well, those weren't as pretty for me as they were for this one. I guess we all got only this color. We only got the first color because we don't have that many colors. So let's see if we have a good one. Let's do pastel 2. Now we're just playing here. Pastel 2. That looks pretty good. So let's do pastel 2, and then 4. We have to try to figure out how we can give these marker components colors that are not based on where they are. So there, we can take in a function. So marker color, we can take in a function, and then we could give it different colors, probably based on that. But the only thing I have is like where they're at in the ranges measures. So because we only have the measures are numbers. I mean, the markers are numbers. So then I would need to do some kind of mapping so that I know what number is what tag. But let's just test it out first. So I think, so what I'm trying to do is get these markers to be the tag. So if we look at our example here, these in the middle here are grumpy, and then the green ones are sad, and then the yellow ones are headaches. So I need to give them the color based on what tag they are and not where on the chart they are. So as you can see, the default is that the color is where on the bar it shows up. So let's try to do some like mapping. So marker tag. So if we say that 20, 24, I don't know if I can do that or if I need like bracket around them. So in this one, this is the first one. First is grumpy. And 25. 25 is sad. And then 30 is headache. Then we should be able to do something here with marker colors. It should take a function. Let's see. Marker colors here takes a function. What this function then gets is hard to know. So we will just explore that. And we'll do console log args, and then we'll just not bottle up, but like get all the args that we're getting, and then we'll output them and see what kind of data we get into this function. Invalid value for prop stroke online. Okay, so let's return something then as well. What kind of colors do you think they do? Like, let's do gray or something. Is that a valid color? Invalid value. Okay, so let's have a better look at these colors. So default sec red purple. You can use categorical colors, green, or sequential form, sec green. Okay, I need to read up on colors then. Colors. Okay, so this is sequential colors. So then they will, okay, single property color. If you want to use a fixed color but want it to match the current theme, you can use the following configs. Colors, border colors. Now all borders will use the background property from current theme. Using a static custom color. Scheme. So what it actually wants is that it wants one of these kind of, so it's getting, what was the, I am just all over the place now. So our bullet one, so the default is sec red purple. I can give it something else. Red blue. I can give it Nevo. But how can I give it just like a different? So let's reply with this and see what we're getting in here. I'm just going to send back the default so that it works, hopefully. No, it does not. Let's send back Nevo. That doesn't work. So how can I'm trying to figure out how to give a color to the markers, which are these little bars here, that I select based not on the range at all, not on the like the value of where it's at. I just want the color of the tag, not anything like this. I might also be over engineering this, of course, and should just make the with like regular CSS and that sort of thing. But we are exploring this framework now. So marker colors, it takes a function, but what type of, like, what can I send back from that component? Ooh, but I could also, I can give it a marker component, and then I can decide for myself how the color should be. Maybe that could work. You can customize measures using, so here we have a custom, I want a custom marker. So here they've made these custom markers. Let's see how that looks. Custom marker, where are you? Custom measure, custom marker. So it's a line, it's a path. So it's getting in the size, it's getting in the color. Again, how can I then define that color? But this is at least the way I can get it into being a circle. I would just then return a G with a G element with a circle element inside of here. But it still doesn't solve our color problem, because then I could, of course, just, I could just like give it a fixed color, but I could also in here maybe check the X, I'm guessing is the number for where it's on the X-axis, and then I could check my data that I might be getting from somewhere else. Yeah, then I can check the data, which is like outside of the scope. Well, in this case, it's fixed, but in my app, it will not be fixed. Let's see how they use it. Bullet. Add custom marker bullet. You can customize markers. I could, of course, do that, but I would like to be able to fix the color myself. So let's try some more. Marker colors. Defines color for markers. You can easily use categorical colors, greens, or sequential form, set green. I think it's weird. I should be able to just return greens and then it should work. But it doesn't want to. Let's do a Google then. Nevo custom marker colors. The size of the label, no. Okay, let's read this color thing again. All color schemes come from the D3 scale. So that's very nice with D3 is that you can do these like scales so that it will automatically color things based on the scale, but that's the opposite of what we want today. Sequential colors, single color. The main colors used for chart for main elements, for example, do bars. Of course, style, you might want to use a color derived from the main element they're bound to or from the main theme. Border color, from color, modifiers. Using a color from a current theme. So do we usually return them as an object then? That works. Nope. Does not work. We are coming up on the time. Oh, I don't like it when we're not getting anywhere. Oh, we have gotten quite far. If you're watching and after the fact or now, and you have any suggestions on how to do this type of visualization, then please drop a comment below or at me on Twitter. So custom marker, custom title, custom range, string function, string. So but we can do an array. So maybe if I do the array, the same as my markers, then marker colors. No, because that won't work because I don't have, it would still be the range. This is annoying me. I think we just have to cut it here. Sorry, people, that we have not managed to figure everything out, but that's what this is, exploration. So we have gotten from the sketch that we have gotten to, so let's get to where we're at. I've gotten to this point where we have the cycles and they're normalized on a scale so that the middle of your cycle is always on the center of these charts, which is nice when you're going to try and see. So as you can see, these kind of line up more than they would have if they weren't normalized. But the interesting thing with our case is that we also want to turn off this normalization, and we also want more control of the color of these markers that are not at all based to where they are in the range. So this is very much for like range data, it looks like, and I do not need it to color these things for me. I want to color these different markers. So that's interesting. But we also figured out that we could do ranges. So we could do 5, and then maybe like 17. Now let's do 5, 10, 16. It's a little like, okay, so we'll do the menstruation is like 4 days, and then I think there's about 14 days. And then there are, let's say, 20. Don't quote me on this. I'm gonna, 24. So this is another way we can add the visualization. So we could say this is our menstrual phase, and then these are the 3 other phases of your menstrual cycle. So that's cool. It's quite easy to just add in these ranges. So I like that. And then you can see how those kind of line up. Those should then line up on top of each other, and no matter how long the cycle is, because that's more kind of like a percentage. So that's something we could do. But I'm going to quit it there. I'm going to do my big face. Yeah, we started to get into visualizing the menstrual cycle. I think we're onto something here. I like how good this framework is with like things smoothly going in and out, which would be interesting for somebody playing with these things on their in POW. So let's say, oh, I'm going to look at these 4 tags and then they're added. And then, no, I want to look at these 2 ads and these 5 tags instead, and things kind of like swoosh in and out and shift. I really liked how smooth that was in this framework. I'll probably have to spend a lot more time to get to know it, and then hopefully on Sunday next week we can like take it further. So if anybody has any tips, especially on how we can like control the colors of these markers, then please let me know. I'll probably spend Friday next week working on this, and then we can do some more exploration together on Sunday next week. Thank you. That's nice. Nice to hear. With these streams, you never know where they're going to take you, since I do these live with little preparation. So it's the true nature of how I'm solving these challenges. So that's all for today. Tomorrow, 8 o'clock at night, you can see the POW status update for December and January. It would be nice to have some people on stream. I think it's going to be super quick, like 10 minutes. And then on March 8th, we'll do a full year in review, and we'll be back here next Sunday, hopefully getting further along with these menstrual cycle visualization. I fell out, so we'll be back next Sunday. I haven't scheduled it yet, but it will be up. So we'll see you back here next Sunday, where we'll continue exploring menstrual cycle visualization, which is the focus for February, and we'll hopefully get something done so that I can kind of announce it on March 8th, International Women's Day, for our 1-year POW anniversary. Woohoo! That's all for today. I'm going to sign off. Pow, 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 pow.